You know the one. They show up early and leave last. They remember your problem better than you do. They'll drop everything to help you move, to hear you vent, to fix the thing you didn't even ask them to fix. Everyone calls them the kind one, the reliable one, the giver. And then, one day, they need help, and the room is empty. Here's the uncomfortable truth about the person who helps everyone. For a lot of them, the helping was never entirely a gift. It was a price, a quiet, constant price they've been paying for something they were never sure they'd get for free. And what they were trying to buy will change how you see every kind person you know. So why do some people give until there's nothing left, while others help only when it suits them? What is the endless helper actually afraid will happen if they stop? And why is it always them, of all people, who ends up alone when the bill comes due? Deep down, the compulsive helper is running a quiet equation. I am worth keeping around as long as I am useful. Most of them would never say it like that. They might not even know it's there. But it drives everything. Every favour is a small deposit into a fear that never quite empties. The fear that without the usefulness, there'd be no reason to love them at all. A person who feels loved just for existing can help you and then go home and rest. A person who isn't sure they're loved just for existing can't rest. Because if they stop being useful, the whole basis of the relationship, as they understand it, disappears. So they never stop. Nobody is born believing they have to earn their place. Usually, it's learned in a home where attention was conditional, where you got noticed for what you did, not who you were. The good grades, the good behaviour, the helping with the younger ones. Love arrived as a reward and withdrew when the performance stopped. A child in that home draws a logical conclusion. Being good enough is a job, and the job is never finished. They grow into the adult who can't sit still at someone else's party without clearing plates, who feels a strange guilt at simply being taken care of, who says, "I'm fine, don't worry about me," so automatically they don't even hear themselves do it. They're not being humble. They genuinely don't know how to be on the receiving end. That was never their role. You can spot this person before they ever say a word about it. Watch them receive a compliment. They hand it straight back. Watch them at a dinner someone else is paying for. They get twitchy. They offer to split. They overtip on the way out. Watch what happens when they're sick. They apologize for it. They'll cancel their own rest to solve a problem that isn't theirs. They'll answer the 1 a.m. phone call and never make one. And when they finally, genuinely need something, they say the 6 words that keep them alone. "It's fine, don't worry about me." Here's what's really happening in that moment. Asking for help doesn't feel humble to them. It feels like danger. Because somewhere they learned that needing things is how you become a burden, and being a burden is how you get left. So they'd rather quietly drown than risk being seen as heavy. The reaching hand feels more frightening than the sinking, so they perfect the opposite skill. They become the one who reaches for everyone else and never once has to be caught. Here's the quiet tragedy of it. When you only ever give, you teach everyone around you to only ever take. Not because they're cruel, because you trained them. You made it look effortless. You said, "I'm fine," every time, so they believed you. You built a whole set of relationships on a single unspoken rule. I hold you up, and I never ask to be held. And then the day comes when you can't hold yourself up, and the people you carried don't appear because you never once showed them that you could be carried. The emptiness of that room isn't proof that people are ungrateful. It's the predictable result of a lifetime spent hiding the fact that you needed anything at all. And when they do finally break, when the exhaustion wins and they snap or go silent or quietly fall apart, the people around them are genuinely shocked. But you were always so strong. Of course you were. You made certain no one ever saw the cost. That was the whole performance, and it held right up until it didn't. So here's the reframe. The endless helping was never pure generosity, and it was never weakness either. It's the strategy of someone who learned early that love had to be earned, and never quite trusted that the earning was done. The giving is real, the kindness is real, but underneath it runs a fear that says, if I stop being useful, I stop being wanted. The most generous person you know is very often the one most afraid of what happens if they ever stop. So if you're the one who helps everyone, who can give all day but flinches at receiving, hear the part you've never let yourself believe. The people who actually love you do not love you for the favours. They'd love you if you showed up empty-handed and tired and needing something. You've just never given them the chance to prove it. The scary experiment isn't to help less. It's to let someone help you once and sit in how uncomfortable that feels and notice that they don't leave. Start absurdly small. Let someone carry one bag. Let a friend pick the restaurant. Let a kind offer land without deflecting it. It will feel wrong. It will feel like you're taking something you didn't earn. Sit in that feeling anyway and watch what doesn't happen. Nobody rolls their eyes. Nobody keeps score. Nobody decides you're too much. Because the people who love you were never adding up your usefulness. That was your equation, not theirs. They've been waiting quietly for years for you to stop performing long enough to just be with them. And here's the strangest discovery of all. When you finally let them give, they don't feel used. They feel trusted. The gift you were withholding was never your help. It was your need. That's the thing you've been trying to buy your whole life, and it was never actually for sale. It was always free. You just couldn't believe it until you stopped paying. People who help everyone aren't just kind. They're often people who learned that love was a wage and never let themselves stop working. The help is real, but so is the quiet hope underneath it, that one day someone will stay, even after they put the work down. For more videos like this, leave a like and subscribe to the channel.